My name is Chad Boswell. I am an analyst at C&S Wholesale Grocers. I track on-time delivery to our customers for our outbound deliveries. My company utilizes FourKites for the real-time track and trace, where is my truck visibility. That's really the focus of how we use it. We have integrated it with our communication internal customer service team software to send URLs to stores to alert them with our delivery alerts program about where is their truck when the truck has gated for the morning and when it's an hour away and when it's arrived at the location. Because we do a lot of sidewalk deliveries for small, independently owned local grocery stores. And it's handy for them to get that our truck has arrived notification so they can send whoever's on site outside to unload and help. Being involved in the FourKites community makes FourKites as a whole a stronger product. FourKites gets its ideas for what to make, what to create, how to improve from the community, from people who are using the platform. So going in the idea forums and posting, hey, could we change this to that? Could we maybe put that on the right side of the screen instead of the left? I've spent a lot of time over the last few years just looking at the basic tracking platform and saying, okay, as a company, we send out a lot of multi-stop loads. Can we rearrange things a little bit so that I can see more than 3 stops on the screen? Because anything that saves people time where they don't have to scroll the screen to see the entire load was helpful. So I've got a lot of ideas on the forum about that. They've implemented a lot of ideas that I've put it on the forums over the year. If you want to get involved in the FourKites community, just go right in there. It's at the top of the application. There's the light bulb. You navigate right through the light bulb and take you to the community. There's a place for ideas. There's a place for discussions. If you have a question, just throw it right out there. There's community ambassadors. I'm a community ambassador. Somebody will chime in pretty quickly, usually, with an answer. Make sure you're specific. Make sure that if you can, put a picture if you're not willing, or if you are willing rather, to share a little bit of what's going on. Be specific so people can answer the question. If you ask a really vague question, people are going to be kind of scratching their heads and going, how do I answer that? Because I don't know what's being actually asked. But there's a lot of people out there that are willing to help out with answers to things. Because we've been on the platform for a while. My company, we've been with FourKites for about 6 years. 5 or 6 years, yeah. And so there's things that I'm really good at with the platform, and there's things that other people are really good at with the platform. And so leverage the community, leverage people's expertise, leverage people's past working with the platform to figure out how to do things, the best way to do things, find out how other people have dealt with the same problems, because there's a lot of companies on board with FourKites doing the visibility thing, and there's probably somebody who's climbed that hill, who's fought that battle. So, reach out and ask. My favorite part about attending the in-person events for FourKites, I've been to visibility several times, 5 or 6 times, is I get here and I talk to people from other companies, right? And every company that uses FourKites, we all have different systems in the background that are feeding into FourKites. We use it all differently. Everybody's got different language. And I feel like when you get, me from one company and somebody from another big company, 3 or 4 different big companies in a room, and we start talking about things because we all do use different words for the same things. And as I'm a former teacher, as a really a non-logistics person, I'll ask questions using words that are, maybe more relatable to the programmers. How does that look? What is that doing? And I know I've talked to the coder folks, and they're just like, oh, you ask such great questions, because it sparks conversations, it sparks ideas. And I think that you don't get that so much when you're talking to people who are all kind of from the same little fishbowl, because you all have the same words you use, and you know what you're talking about. But I think you come to an event like Visibility or one of the other kind of pop-up events that FourKites does, and you talk to people about things, and it really boils up to visibility to pain points that people didn't even really realize they had. And it gets people asking the questions, what's the best way what's the easiest way to actually accomplish what we're looking to accomplish. Because sometimes the easy way is the best way, especially since you're talking about people who do have such different use cases. Because, I mean, as a whole, if you can get a solid, basic way to do something and it works for everybody, that's great. And that's what the community is great for, and what these pop-up events are great for, because it lets us talk to each other.